Cynopsis in your ear.
Good morning, I'm Trish Pahanik for Cynopsis. It's Wednesday, June 21st, 2006, and this is your first early morning briefing. Here is today's top story. Say goodnight, Dan. By now you know CBS News has announced Dan Rather's retirement just months before his contract was due to expire, and after 44 years covering almost every major event in our country's history. Now Sean McManus, president of CBS News and Sports, said, quote, "Of all the famous names associated with CBS News, the biggest and brightest on the marquee are Murrow, Cronkite, and Rather," unquote. In a statement released through his publicist, Rather had this to say, quote, "My departure before the term of my contract represents CBS' final acknowledgement after a protracted struggle. They had not lived up to their obligations to allow me to do substantive work there," unquote. CBS News will air a primetime special on Dan Rather's career, and it's scheduled for this fall. Dan is known for his Rather-isms, and here's one of my favorites. Would ya, could ya, should ya? If a frog didn't have long hind legs, he wouldn't have squat to jump with. You'll find more in today's edition sitting in your inbox. Hey, guess what? If you had a promo or a commercial in this daily podcast, it would go right about here. Coming up under more good stuff, Court TV loses 50 jobs with cuts to come, Fox finishing up its upfront season, 2 new broadband channels, an update on 2006 syndication upfront. And while I'm telling you about all this stuff, take a look at these beautiful shots provided to us from the Internet Movie Archive. Well, after acquiring full ownership of Court TV last month from Liberty Media, Time Warner's Turner Broadcasting cut 50 jobs at the network's corporate communications, affiliate relations, finance, and accounting areas. Other areas, including programming, marketing, and production, will be left alone as the network will work in these areas independently from the Turner groups. More Court TV layoffs could happen in the next 60 to 90 days. Fox has all but finished its upfront selling season, finishing at $1.7 billion, according to Hollywood Reporter. CPMs have been in the +2 to +4% range versus last year, selling approximately 70% of its inventory. Estimates peg the network at ending up with an overall 6% increase from last year's spending, which finished at $1.6 billion. OLNTV.com has launched a new broadband channel, The Player, with a variety of sports events and series available 24/7. Now viewers can download exclusive streaming video, replays, and daily highlights from the NHL, the Tour de France, and the professional bull riders, plus get tips from field sports experts, reports from industry sports shows, and OLN will be known as Versus in September 2006 and specializes in sports and competitive content. The first martial arts broadband channel, Mac Experience, has been launched via a private beta test by Breakthrough Interactive Group Incorporated at www.macexperience.com. Now, participants in the private test included martial art experts, broadband industry leaders, investors, and select consumers, and Mac Experience will launch live worldwide on July 7th, and it will contain original martial arts content, including movies, documentaries, tournament competition, news, and more. Check out today's Cynopsis Multicultural Editions Agency in Focus, Kang and Lee Advertising, which if you're not a subscriber, you can catch at the Cynopsis website. Syndication 2006 Upfront Update. As reported in Media Week, several major agencies are already talking with the top syndicators, with one syndicator saying they have conducted some early business. So far, no details on price have been divulged, and the discussions apparently have not gone as far as rates. Now, the buzz says the new Rachel Ray from King World and top-tier shows such as Oprah and Dr. Phil, also from King World, Ellen from Warner Brothers, Regis and Kelly from Buena Vista, and the entertainment magazines such as Paramount Entertainment Tonight and the Insider Warner Brothers Extra and NBC's Universal Access Hollywood are the most sought-after shows by media agencies. Syndicators appear to be happy to be approached by the agencies as the network broadcast upfront is concluding. Now, all of this is happening prior to any major deals with the cable networks. Other syndication programs categories that may be in demand are off-net sitcoms, game shows, and news magazine shows. The TV Guide channel has tapped former child star Tracy Gold to host the new series Trapped in TV Guide, which debuts on August 4th at 8 o'clock. Now, the one-hour reality show catches people unaware with hidden cameras as they are trapped in a scene from a classic or current TV hit such as Seinfeld, Desperate Housewives, The X-Files, or I Love Lucy. The show is executive produced by Barry Posnick and John Stevens for Zoo Productions. Another addition to TNT's limited series The Company, scheduled to roll out next summer. Earlier this week, it was announced Chris O'Donnell would join the show, and now add Alfred Molina to the list. Molina will play a fascinating character called the Sorcerer, the guy who created many of the wizardly techniques for which the CIA became known. The Company, played out in 6 one-hour episodes, chronicles the days of the CIA during the Cold War. Well, a casting call to let you know about: Oxygen Network is seeking all, quote, bad girls for the new original series, The Bad Girls Club, which premieres in December 2006. Now, the club will be a diverse group of women brought together to live in L.A., in a L.A. house, who are determined to change their evil ways. The open casting call takes place this Saturday. Check your inbox for today's edition, which has all the details you're going to need. Well, I have the rating summary for Monday night according to live plus same-day ratings from Nielsen Media Research, and it goes like this. Fox had a heavenly win Monday night with a 2.78, adult 18 to 49. Now, reruns of the CBS comedies of The King of Queens and How I Met Your Mother averaged a 2.37 to take the 8 o'clock hour, and Fox aired an original episode of Hell's Kitchen at 9 o'clock, which beat the other nets by at least a full rating point at a 3.49. Then at 10 o'clock, CBS prevailed again to win this time period, with a repeat of CSI Miami at a 3.29. And today's trivia question: on what TV show was the owner and publisher of the Daily Sentinel, who had a dual identity known only to his secretary and the district attorney? Well, that wraps it up for today. Be sure to check your email for the full printed version of today's synopsis with some new executive moves, more on ratings, loads of new classified ads, a few other stories that didn't make it into this podcast, and of course tonight's primetime broadcast lineup. For Cynthia Turner, who wrote and compiled Synopsis, I'm Trish Pahanik with the podcast version of Synopsis in your ear.